bag here, we're gonna get that out of the picture. Like this. Like so. All right. Thank you all for being here. So no D yet, or did I miss him?
No, Dee's not here, or he is.
D is not showing up yet.
How's that mic sound?
I live in North Beach.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
What was that? Michelle said,
Keep going.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Can you stop?
Stop. Okay, I'm talking now. This is talking. Just making small talk here. Getting ready.
Oh, I think we ought to be able to see John's head. Do you think that's important? What do you think about John's head? John, could you get a little shorter for us, please? He's such an uncooperative.
I can pull this in differently.
Huh?
Is this
Stand
block?
up straight.
I think you're doing good.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you're there.
Oh, hi, Cam. Oh, it's so nice to see you here.
We're gonna bring some more lights down. Get that nice wintry vibe going in here. Like that.
Thank you.
Like this. Oh, okay. And we're gonna do one more thing, which is we're gonna stop drilling you all with that light going right into the audience, huh? That's a little courtesy we pay the customers if and when we can find the ladder. Not the former, but the latter. Here we go. I'm going to go in here past your feet. Thank you very much. Avotcja, just stay exactly where you are. And I'm just going to go up here and redirect this light. Okay, that'll do. So you're not blinded. All right. Alright, let me make sure that the audio is going out to the room. You don't need them in the room as much as they need them out there. Okay. You are ready. Take it away.
Well, thank you all for coming here. This would be a wonderful reading. We all are four poets who are with newer recent books that we want to share some parts of. And I'm John Curl. There's going to be a devorah major, Dee Allen, and Avotcja. And we'll each give you a little sample of some of the things that we're doing, and you can check it out further in our current books and in our past books. And I'm going to read you from this book which just came out from Vagabond, called Rainbow Weather: Poems for Environmental Healing. Plain talk. This is a time for plain talk, a time for baking bread, for learning to grow food, for repairing things that are broken, for learning crafts, for honoring those with skills, for remembering things and people we have forgotten. Mark the board. Square it up. Line up the cutting edge precisely. Mix in the compost. Shovel the earth over. Rake it through. Lay out the rows. Hold the seeds in your palm. Blend the ingredients. Add the yeast. Knead the flour. Light the oven. The dough is rising. What's wrong with this country? Open up again. You who've been so hurt, trust. Take the risk of being hurt again. Truth is painful, but when it doesn't kill you, it's healing. The many sordid traumas she keeps still hidden deep in her psyche, beneath so many layers of misplaced shame, the whispered lies, the secret betrayals, abuses to her flesh, her spirit, her air, her water, her seagulls, her grass, her rocks, her trees, her wind, her soul. Only the betrayed can see it. Only the forlorn can feel it. Only the forsaken can understand it. That bitterness in her smile, that grief in her eyes. You've been there, haven't you? I know you have. I can feel it in the spaces between your bones. You recognize her anguish in your own. Try to run. You can't run. Try to hide. You can't hide. You can't run, you can't hide from a crushed spirit. She didn't deserve this. She shrank into her fists, swore she'd never leave herself so vulnerable, so innocent, so open, so unconditional, swore she'd never be a victim for love again. America is suffering. America is grieving from a broken heart. Who broke it? So many times, in such cruel ways. How do you heal a country? How do you heal a country with a broken heart? Conjuring Realignment. Here we are in this blind-sided alley of dying and living, in these rasping grasps of what they flatteringly call civilization. Lucky us. We've reached it in our lifetimes, hurtling off the vertiginous cliff of destiny. They've been desecrating our sweet world and abusing each other ever since the human psyche began. They're hopeless, so why bother? Why even bother to write this poem? Who cares about a poem in a time of civilization collapse? Lo, the circle is drawn around us. The candle is lit. The power of water enters inside. Let there be the illusion of time. Let up be up. Let up be down. Let down be down. Let down be up. In this time of civilization collapse, unleash the powers in ancient sounds, in ancient words, in ancient runes. Unleash the powers in ancient spells, incantations, invocations, divinations, conjurations. Now is the ancient breaking point. Now is the ancient boiling point. Now the ancient flashpoint of rebellion, dark forces, be gone, out, return to darkness. Be gone, all negative energy. Dark forces, gone. Lo, lo, the circle is drawn around us. Leave our homes unharmed. Now is the dew point of realignment, of healing. Behold, the clouds part. The voices speak. This does not belong to you. This is our great-grandchildren's ocean. These are their forests. Dark forces, be gone. Out. Return to darkness. Let there be sharing. Let there be shining. Let there be luminescence. Raindrops. Rain is alive. Rain is life. We living things, all of us, are water droplets. Consciousness is a form of water. We are children of the morning dew. Vapor rising from the sea, clouds of vapor drifting toward land. Listen to the rain drench the suffering city streets. Listen to the dew. Raindrops in a summer shower, bouncing on roofs, swirling down storm drains, hovering on eyelashes, dripping down chestnut leaves, seeping into meadows, flowing through soil, snowflakes drifting through cumulus clouds, floating into children's faces, blowing against tree trunks, piling into drifts, perfect, unique crystals, coating star maple branches, rabbit burrows, cranberry bogs. Listen to the snow cover the hills. Listen to the clouds. Listen to the waterfalls, endlessly splashing. Water droplets underground flood along the watershed, gather into currents, surface again, mountain springs of purity, trickle around pebbles, leaping brooks, babbling over frogs, flowing past tongues of turtles, splashing streams, meandering around oxbows, funneling into whirlpools, eddying in gentle swells, surging into great rivers, crashing against rocks. We are vapor. We are clouds. We are rain. We are all snowflakes. We are dew. We are rivers flowing together into the ocean, our mother, and she is us too. Then why do military drones keep striking wedding parties of snowflakes? Why do clouds still cry themselves to sleep at night from cold and hunger, clothes and food, while warehouses are packed with clothes and food? Then why are 2 million American raindrops still in prison? Why are we poisoning the children of the morning dew? And she said, he said, don't worry about trying to fix it. He said, we've destroyed this world past redemption, beyond habitability. It's dead, murdered. Our task now is to leave and colonize another planet. Wow, he really said that. Seriously. He imagines heroically saving humanity from extinction by escaping to some spacesuit utopia in the stars. That is the Puritan's eye, escaping the corrupt old world, reinventing yourself in a new city on a hill in an imagined tabula rasa, the eye of the imperialist, dreaming that there is always some new, pristine place to start over again and plunder, even now when people have pillaged the entire earth and there is no place left here to plunder. Then go if you must, she said, to your own suicide, but don't expect me to buy you that spaceship. Even if life really did come here long ago from the stars, she said, and even if that means we are star people too. Even so, we have been here so long. We are now and forever Earth people. And this Earth does not belong to us. We belong to her. This planet is not an object we can use, abuse, discard like so much garbage. Our task now is not to escape, but to stay right here, to hold fast to Earth, to learn to live here, to protect her. We are now and forever inseparable from her, our wild, watery habitat, our precious green mother. And I'll finish my reading today with a poem called Cloud Castles. After all this blood, here we are, still torn in this crisis of destruction and delusion. At a time like this, how can we even think of celebration? Remember that hazy summer day we lay side by side in the grass, gazing lazily into the clouds. Tell me, what do you see? A dolphin jumping through a wave, a swaying palm tree, a field of corn, a rhinoceros horn. Wind and rain, the shapes change, a swooping bumblebee, a raging storm at sea, a crimson bird soaring along the horizon, a frowning clown, an angry crowd, a thundering herd of bison. Look up into the sky, into the clouds. Tell me what you see. Grim masks in crowded dungeons, prisoners whispering forbidden thoughts forever unfinished. Midwives hugging bleeding infants, orphans holding endless wakes, widows seizing desperate moments, windows shattering lost childhoods, concrete collapsing bridges and dams, toxic water gushing through neighborhoods, broken priests torturing war dogs, just everyday terror and plunder, boys murdering men, murdering women, forests blazing, animals fleeing, all the great-grandchildren scream, the gangster regime, the loathsome empire's last bitter crimes, drip, drip, dripping, dark splatters of blood on the last rotting dreams, clotting in the last gutter. None of this will ever be forgotten. And yet, it is written. Invincible regimes collapse. All-powerful empires swept away to nowhere. New civilizations arise from the earth with a kiss. The clouds change. The moment of celebration is to be. Remember that hazy summer day we lay lazily in the grass, you and me, gazing up into the sky. Tell me, what do you see? Lovers in a filthy jail, the rings on a tiger's tail, salmon creeks, flamingo beaks, gazing gazelles, Buddha bells, flowering Joshua trees, sunrise over turquoise seas. Thank you. This is Rainbow Weather, and you can get a copy from Eric if you're interested. Now here is a next poet is Devorah Major. Thank you, Devorah.
Adios, Neil. Okay. I'm not quite so tall. Can you hear me, or should I lower the mic?
Lower it a little bit.
Okay.
Hey, Dee.
Are we good? All right. Okay. So let's give another hand to John. What's the name of your book again?
Rainbow Weather.
Rainbow Leather. Okay, thank you. That was nice. Okay. I'm going to start with one of my newest poems, yet unpublished, which is out of science. It's kind of how we got to here. Astronomers say that the age we live in now is called the age of stars. Before us, there were no stars, and after us, there will be no stars. And I found it interesting because what they say about the stars is, and let me say, I'm not saying this as a Christian, but this is what is written in the King James Version of the Bible. It's the same thing. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. 1. Dark matter tendrils wove a cosmic womb bulging with ambionic fluids. Dense and searing, blinding blue heat spread across the blackness, imploding, exploding, birthing a shockwave of hurled energy, a scatter of star seeds. Glistening prisms, these stars were midwives to our universe. Iron to salt, water to copper, a rush of green, the blood of us. 2. The shards of our sun's placenta formed our planet, her solar gust, an umbilical cord of energy that we ceaselessly feed upon. 3. This age of stars is one short breath in the universe's time that will one day give way to another age of darkness where we are not even a memory. Thank you. These next two are from Calafia's Daughter, which is my most recent book. And the first is really to answer the question of, if you remember Earth as another being, what will you remember? Earth memories. Water, heat, color everywhere. Wings, fur, flesh. Roots, gossamer and rope, seed, sea, loam and sand. An infinite ability to birth, to heal, to kill, to die. The shape of wind, its sound. And this is, I love the wind and all of its manifestations. I think I like to listen to it. That was the nice thing about being indoors. When it was stormy, I was hearing the words, but I was indoors. In fact, thinking about people who were not indoors. But this is about wind. Motion, touch, change, sculpting life around twig, mountain, nape, sand, wave, sometimes captured, always released. No death, no birth. Just change, this planted, that flattened, another smoothed or sharpened, a cutting chill, a thick warm embrace, wind strokes. Okay, thank you. And I'm a San Franciscan who's been deported, but I still consider myself a San Franciscan since I have and always will have lived most of my life in San Francisco.
Where do you live now?
Oakland, West Oakland, the Bottoms, which there's a lot good to be said about Oakland. But when you grow up in San Francisco, and I had my kids here, and my daughter had a couple of her kids there, so we're generational. We're 4 generations now gone. 4 generations of African Americans no longer in San Francisco. So anyway, the beach was my beach. When I was a kid, it cost 5 cents on the bus. In fact, you got a bus ticket, and the bus driver punched it, and you tried to put it so that he would punch over the same hole again so you could use it more than 10 times. And we would ride out to the beach, and the beach was ours. I mean, it was ours. It was where we went summers a lot because we didn't have much to do. But we were adventurous. So it was Golden Gate Park or the beach. So I wrote this poem, I think maybe last year or the year before, after going to the beach now. San Francisco Ocean Beach Blues. I hear it sough and sigh as it washes refuse onto the shore more frequently than the shells I used to capture or the smooth stones I used to pick up in finger before warming them in my palms, then returning each back to the shore's damp edge. I want its ancient ocean scent to sidle into my nostrils, the moist kelp vines beginning to dry, to rot. I thirst for the salt that envelops the air, lingers on the edges of my lashes. I yearn for the beach spume rich and noisy before its sand was turned matte black and steel gray, hiding its soft tan skin beneath smelted oil, its foam skirts full of trash, dying fish, and marooned whales. We need to steer our sturdy ships to the garbage patch of plastic scum hovering between Hawaii and California and fill those vessels' holds with our putrid waste. Return it to its source, so the ocean can continue to sing a hymn for her children growing in deep sea forest. And we really do. And if anybody here or there doesn't know about the garbage patch, search it on the web. It's the size of Texas. It's all plastic trash. It's ours, and we need to take it. Whatever we do with it, we need to bring it back to land. You know, and yeah. There are things that can be done with it. Turn it to art. It can be used again. Yeah.
They're taking those plastic bags and making bricks and
There you go. Yeah, there's so many things that can be done, but a trash island, and then it comes on the beaches, and you find it there. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, I'm doing this. This is for Somalia. A horrible drought set in on Somalia, really, really bad in the fall of last year. Because the drought had been there for years, and so there wasn't enough grain. And then with the complications of the war, the Russian war on Ukraine meant less grain. And there were at one point over 1 million people in this one camp, and they were all starving to death. And you probably didn't see anything about it on the news because those faces were not as sad as the Ukrainian faces. To some. I found them heartbreaking. Drought in Somalia. When do we call it genocide? Hundreds of thousands of bone-sagged mothers wearing brown, sun-dried, stretched leather skin parchments on which their lives and deaths are already written, carry their children tight against flat, gasping breasts and bulbous, hollow bellies, framed with twisted branch arms to camp rows of shared starvation. Even the babies can no longer cry in the stabbing hunger of the relentless sun. The women would, if they could, lift their cracked sole feet to receive a cup of water, a few mouthfuls of grain to be chewed to mush and kissed into their babies' mouths. But most of these mothers wither as desiccated leaves, tattooed into burning rocks, while they tearlessly sway their young into an endless sleep, to be buried in a mass grave dug days before, having never known fulsome open rain laughter or green crop celebrations.
Well, tell it.
And I love life, the blessing of my life. I have many reasons to. Friends, family, the ability to do poetry, and I came up in California. Born in Berkeley, raised in San Francisco from the time I was 2, and always was Big Sur or up in the Redwoods, or always my father, Harlem-born, was like keeping us out of the city. So I love that, and I love nature. But this is called Uwa, which is the Igbo word for Mother Earth. And I really, I think we pride ourselves too much. So I thought, what would happen if there weren't humans here doing all of the things we do? We who maybe don't love people and the planet and the animals as much as some of us. Have you ever sat alone eyeing a vast cloudless sky, a wedge of gulls parting the blue? Would it be less without you, or would serenity still reign? Have you leaned against a redwood inside their family circle and heard thick moss hum, the sweetness of green filling your mouth as the musk of rotting leaves tickles your nose and the birds quiet again with your stillness? Would it be less without you, or remain one of Terra's ancient temples? Have you been held by the ocean's fingertips, salt gems soothing skin, kelp swaying beneath your belly, wave rhythms drumming the shore, and wondered if it would be less without you, or remain the womb of eternal creation? How tragic would it really be if humanity was no longer Earth's primary predator, because Gaia cleansed her skin of we who devour the Eden she provided?
Preach. Preach.
Thank you. And I'm going to end with that because, as John said in his Raindrops thing, we are all of this. We are of the earth. we are, I don't know, it's really a very Western kind of Euro-American Anglo idea that there's people and then there's everything else. I've never understood it, but I understand this, that we are this place. We are this place. The clay and salt of it, the river and sand of it. Fingers rise from desert dunes, faces emerge from cresting ways, bodies unfold like tropical blossoms flush with the odors of honey and decay. We are the forest we fell, the mountains we devour, the lands we poison. Our bodies are the seed and ash of this place. We are not merely the caretakers of this place. We are this place of gold and silt. And what will we do with this gift and debt? Where in prayer is the space for truth? When amidst these interminable wars is the table of compassion set? Even in our worm selves as we turn and spit, fertilizing the future with our waste, we are so much more than we imagine. We are spirit resilient, rock unforgiving, wind eternal. Let us move now from the storms of hate and fear and cleanse this place that is us. Sacrifice nothing but our arrogance and the need to destroy and subvert the glories of the universe that are us. We are more than we have imagined, more than we have invented and discovered inside our pulsing dreams. Sing with me of a better day when we learn this planet as ourselves. We are this place, shaping its tomorrows. We need to dream it well.
Hey.
Thank you. Let me say before I bring up Brother Dee Allen, who is next on the bill, any of you here, before you leave, buy a book. Of course, the poets, we would love it if you'd buy one of ours, but support the bookstore. And those of you who are online, go to an independent bookstore, not Amazon or wherever. Go to an independent bookstore, and if you don't have one in your community, then go to Marcus Books Online, City Lights Online. Go to an independent bookstore online. Buy a book. Keep the word alive. Thank you. And now let me introduce Dee Allen.
The wonderful Dee Allen. Yeah.
The wonderful Dee Allen.
Good going, girl. Hey.
Bring that mic down a little bit before you say something to it.
I'm okay. The mic's the same height as me. Stormwater. Tropical storms have come and gone, passed over NOLA as quick as an eye's blink. Katrina, however, was different. When Katrina arrived from farther south, she did so in a goddamn rage. Up from the Caribbean, along the Gulf Coast, she barreled into Mississippi and Louisiana with sheer fury. Hit NOLA's shoreline right where it hurt, a protective barrier that kept Mississippi River and Lake Pontchartrain at bay. Powerful winds, incessant rain, rising waves won that day. Weakened, splintered wood floated away when the levees broke. The bayou came to the Big Easy with one angry thrust of storm water. The rich saw it coming. They evacuated first. The poor were forsaken, contended with the worst. everything that stood, uprooted, submerged, once the levees broke. Carried out on passing waves, the unfortunate dead, survivors headed for higher, drier ground. Freeway overpasses, bridges, Superdome, schools, attics, rooftops must avoid the rising pool. The military, Red Cross, gave no aid, so cruel, after the levees broke. When the government were slow to help, citizens helped themselves. They braved the waters Katrina brought with her. Rescues by boats, desperate people in pursuit of food and drink. Local stores they loot. Inner city armed madhouse, Blackwater poised to shoot after the levees broke. In the birthplace of Zydeco, jazz and blues, survivors strive to recover amidst water damage. Houses in the wards had collapsed, most torn. After Katrina left, Rita was born. After her, another storm took a different form after the levees broke. What two angry sisters started, cranes finished. Destructive feasts, thick iron teeth chewed up the bricks. That's the projects, y'all. That's what the people in NO used to call them. Local and state officials meet, plan for the new way. Locked out of the meeting in former homes, residents rise in dismay. Police stun guns, tear gas gave the final say after the levees broke. A decade has passed. Old Crescent City looks new, having been thoroughly washed in rushing storm water. Cleansed of blackness, now there's false unity. Having all the soul of a gated community, none. Mo rich stay and play here, not the same, Nola, to me, since the levees broke.
Well,
That was the title poem of my third book, Stormwater. The last three poems will be coming from my fifth book, Eloi Onichi, Poems, 2013 to 2018, released Earth Day 2020 during the early days of the coronavirus pandemic. And this book is separated into three different sections. And the last three poems, each one will be represented of those three sections. This one from pages 10 and 11 comes from the section entitled Harm to Nature, based on actual events from my life. This is called Conundrum. As a twiggy little boy of 9, I was so curious about the bumblebees hovering over blood-red roses, flesh-pink roses, bushes filled with pale yellow honeysuckles that grew in my grandmother's yard. So curious when I reached out to touch one. That bumblebee stung me with its needle-like tail, leaving behind a mark, swollen red, painful, on the caramel brown of my arm. Never touched another one since. There were so many bumblebees back then, practically in swarms. Every spring, pollination time. Now I'm older, a man of 54, taller, darker skinned, closer to chocolate than caramel. Still twiggy though. Another spring has arrived and something's missing from the big ecological picture. Absence leaves behind a mark, a conundrum. Where have all the bumblebees gone? I hear different styles of music, but no distinctive droning buzz fills my ears. I see all manners of insects fly in the air, but no visible sign of the little pollinators paying any visits to East Oakland's roses. Extinction leaves behind a mark, a conundrum. Who will produce honey when the bumblebees are gone?
well,
Before I go into these next two pieces, let's give it up one more time for John Curl, the author of Rainbow Weather from Vagabond Books. And the former poet laureate of San Francisco, Devorah Major, author of Khalifa's Daughter. And this next poem comes from section 2 of the book entitled Beauty of Nature. From pages 30 and 31, this is an ode to the most resilient plant that I've heard of in nature or even seen. This is called Unstoppable. Houses may sit, telephone poles stand tall, buildings stand taller, fences surround, walls surmount, bridges connect to land masses, and still it manages to emerge far above the turf and grow unstoppable, adding vibrant color to insipid surroundings. Vines cling, scaling upward, walls of houses and buildings aiming for the sky, festooning solitary telephone poles with vines and shoots until they become trees, growing electrical wires, formulations of spiky leaves, countless, render the steel fence to naked eyes invisible. Virescent wave flows over cold, gray, imposing wall, vines tangle, metallic railing, following the bridge's path, ceaseless course of cars. The underpass receives verdurous flood tide, creepy crawling, increased sprawling, unstoppable ivy. Nature's march cannot be stopped with concrete and steel.
Hey.
And the last one comes from section 3 of the book, entitled Travels Through Nature. And these are poems based on little trips that I've taken here and there over the years to different green areas, most of them here in the Golden State of California. And this one was about one of my favorite trips to the North Bay I took back in September of 2014 from pages 44 and 45 of Eloy Onichi, based on actual places and events. This is called Guardians. They stand watch over everything precious that thrived in moist shadows and passed beneath them. Coastal redwoods. You know, the ones that Sister Devorah was talking about earlier. Towering, supremely thick, rust-colored specimens of wood with 12-inch bark, giant elders, guardians of groves, at first glance intimidating looking, yet inviting, maintained a steady vigil 1,000 years or less. Some humans rightfully saw fit to preserve these ancient watchers of life. When they wandered through one of the groves, William and Elizabeth Kent witnessed still, unspoiled, botanical beauty, vowed its protection from the logger saw's ripping touch, and gave it John Muir's name. Verdant patches of three-leaf clovers, sprawling coils of fern, tall, slender Douglas fir trees trying hard to imitate their mightier redwood cousins. Hungry squirrels scamper the dirt floor on a foraging trip. A craving for acorns, fallen or on a branch, needs sating. Lean little trickle of water running down an extensive ditch toward Mount Tamalpais Way. Sorry masquerade for a full rushing creek. The steady march of hikers, boots and sneakers, tread new grooves into overworn trails, or offer protection and shade by the guardians in return. And that last poem was called Guardians, my ode to Muir Woods. And those were like the biggest, most colossal trees I've ever seen in my life. If you've never been to Muir Woods, a day in your life, Take a day off sometime. Get your friends, get your lover, get your brother, get your cousin, and that annoying ass neighbor that lives next door to you into a vehicle and drive out to the North Bay to Muir Woods in the Mill Valley area. From this mic to your ears, I'm Dee Allen. Thanks for listening.
The governor of Texas, New Orleans, Louisiana, at the time, Hispana Blanco, and the mayor of New Orleans, African American.
Okay.
People of color that govern, most of them, very few really tell what's going on. And it's, yeah,
That's a damn shame that that had to happen, though.
yeah, yeah.
I have no copies of Stormwater, my third book, with me, but I have one copy of Eloise Onichi poems, 2013 to 2018, on me. So if any of y'all like what you heard tonight, I happen to have that one copy for sale for $12. And now, without further ado, the one who's definitely going to bring the house down, like she always does, even when the subject matter happens to be about our dear, precious Eloise Onichi, the Chalagi or Cherokee Indian name for Mother Earth, Avotcja.
Hey. Thank you so much.
Avotcja, we'll ask you to maneuver there facing the audience.
I will.
Up to the stage. I'm going to turn the camera down a little bit.
Can you move this?
I'm going to come and help
Thank you.
make room for you.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that. What I'd like to do is move that step and then have you back all the way up to the stage, and then you'll have a little light on you. So let me get this step up out of the way before you back up. This,
Say, folks, give a big hand to, everybody's been with, John Pearl, Devorah Major, and Dee Allen, please.
so if you could sort of back right up to the
Oh, okay.
that'll give us a chance to have a little light on you. And then we'll get this here where it can pick up that stick. And we'll bring that mic
good?
down for you to read.
As
into.
Devorah was saying, support independent bookstores. This one being one, mentioned Barker's Books, East Wind, which unfortunately is going out of business. And it really breaks my heart because not only is a great bookstore is owned by friends, and nobody quite like them anywhere, and just independent bookstores wherever. Please support them, or else strange things happen. And it,
So I don't want this to get in the way of your papers or your sticks there. What if we put it about like this? Try to get a little closer to you though. Going about like that.
testing.
It'll be pretty good. I'm going to tighten this up so it doesn't decide to move on you in the middle of reading.
Move it a little bit further to
1 second. Okay, which way?
this way.
And maybe tilt it this way a little bit perhaps.
Move the whole thing just a little bit over. This way.
Towards you.
Yes. Está perfecto. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And show me where you're going to hold that when you use it.
This, you not even worry about it. This thing is not working well. I did not bring my decent rain stick. This was bought for me by some people who assume they know more than I do about musical instruments. And it's supposed to be a rain stick, but it's a wish I had a rain stick. So we'll see what happens. It's always interesting when people assume they know more about what you do than you do. So anyway, I'm very grateful to be here. This bookstore is really important to me for a lot of reasons, but not only because of the books, but because of music. There's music here, live music every weekend. And please tell everybody, to support this bookstore. And also you folks out there listening on the web, please, he's letting us do this poetry reading in honor of Mother Earth for free. If you can drop something in their little, they have a thing there, a donation thing there. Please drop something on the bookstore. We want to keep them going. So, okay, let me try and do a few of these things. From my book that has just come out, With Every Step I Take Two, it's 272 pages, and I know they have some here. This is called Big Mama's Miniature Miracles. Dee Allen mentioned the bees. Devorah mentioned the wind. And humanity is so unbelievably arrogant and stupid. They don't pay attention. The truth of the matter is, without those bees, we disappear. Not only do they disappear, we disappear. The food we need to eat, they don't just produce honey. Rainforests disappearing. No big thing. They just produce 70% of the oxygen we breathe. This weather that we're having is not accidental. This pandemic that we're having is not accidental. It's because of them knocking down the rainforests that clean the air, that help keep the balance, that prevents things like this pandemic from happening. So strange things are happening. This is called Big Mama's Miniature Miracles. It all began with a little drop of dew as stupidity knocked down too many trees, and the rain ran away when the clouds disappeared and arrogance lost its mind. Next comes some big money jerks, they come pay an unasked for visit, covered the beauty of creation's bounty with concrete, and a heartbroken earth turned in on herself. Brutally humiliated, the old girl was devastated as she was forced to watch her biodiversity fade. The silent spaces where birds used to play, and desperate bumblebees, crazed honeybees, armies of disoriented worker bees, and homeless dethroned queen bees, hooked on pollen, starving, slipped unnoticed into the safe obscurity of passing winds and followed the flowers that got away. She sat, had to watch the leaves fall to the ground, feel the pain of seeing the plushes of foliage get rotten and die. Mother Nature was pissed, and she cried. Was furious, but she just cried. She ate the hate and got sick from the steady diet of disrespect as she tried to be cool and get through this rerun cycle of strife still under her feet. All kinds of little critters witnessed Strawberry Creek, like the Ohloni's Mission Creek, being driven deeper and deeper and deeper underground looking for a safe place to hide. As sniveling, greedy hypocrites worked hard and looked all pitiful, boo-hooed and tried to look like they were pushing tears aside in denial of their own treacherous handiwork. Then had the nerve to curse the desiccated blandness of the land and the floods of madness that brought about the nothingness of droughts, a soulless duplication of the dryness of arrogance's own lack of humanity and imagination, a continuous saga. A bankrupt drama, the arrhythmic dance that comes from worshiping dollars. And in complete disregard of common sense, greed wrapped itself from head to foot, masked the sterile, suicidal shame in their own self-pity, and was so unbelievably busy feeling sorry for themselves that they completely forgot. They completely forgot and lost sight of the fact that they are only a small part of life. They were so self-absorbed that they never even noticed the resilient reappearance of the beauty of clouds or that little ignored drop of water. The one that refused to give up the ghost. Mama's stubborn little dewdrop. Cute little thing jumped up and gave a tiny blade of grass. I say she gave a tiny blade of thirsty grass just the right amount of courage to break through the concrete and remind us all again, this too shall pass. Mama Nature has already paid the course, and even though she sometimes gets confused, lets go, and loses control, she knows she's Mama. She knows the earth is her home in these days. She's spending all her time getting ready to stay ready in anticipation of mankind's next display of foolishness. Regardless of whether we're ready to accept the ramifications, Mama knows. She's always known in no uncertain terms earth is her turf, and it's nature's nature to always reclaim what's hers. Mess with just one of her babies, and even history won't miss you. And there's nothing worse than a mother, an angry mother's fury. I say nothing worse than an angry mother's fury. Nature is one of those overprotective kind of mamas that almost never plays. A mama that will always let you know she would much rather hold you. But if you push her too hard, she's going to fight. Think twice before you act unwisely, unless you think your conscience is strong enough to handle the loss. Because when nature takes, she takes it all. Big Mama's temper tantrums have been known to turn heaven and hell inside out before you could blink your eyes. So while there's still a chance to do more than just think, find what's left of common sense in your heart, being an unwavering example of peace and harmony, moving productively and gracefully through life like a dewdrop, or we're going to lose big time. This time, we're going to lose it all. In the long run, the old girl always wins. That's the way it's always been. That's the way the story always goes. She's mama, big mama, and Mother Nature is always boss. Listening to the news the other day, CBS, you talk about arrogance. And they're talking about, very blatantly say, you know, they're talking about going and colonizing Mars. Think of all the real estate. Ooh. I wish they'd all go. I like this place. Just go, and whatever's out there, the Martians or whatever, let them kick their behind. Just go. Leave us alone. Let us try and rebuild this place. Because, anyway, as I say, we're part of something a whole lot bigger than us. This call is only natural. Another morning, and Earth's awakened by the familiar caress and heat of a hungry sun. A familiar undying passion, a loving glow, an ancient regenerating respect, and a kiss of magic. A daily X-rated ritual that she never gets tired of for you. This may just be another morning, but for the earth, this daily rite is sacred. A love everlasting, a never-ending erotic dance engraved in time. She sighs. I say she sighs and smiles, a smile of joy. Reborn again and again and again and again, a virgin in love with the familiar warm caress and passion of an insatiable romantic and the hungry kiss of an earth still hot enough to light up the morning sun. Anyway, I'm the daughter of two dancers, and like devorah, I kind of like the wind too. So this is called Wind Dance. When the wind dances, time stops and the trees sway with her, and every blade of grass bows down to an old paper spin and fly in the air in her. The hats jump right off the heads of bull-headed men and follow her as far as they can follow. When the wind dances, shh, stand still. Take a peek as she turns the comfort of your world inside out and aggressively wrecks the peace of an otherwise quiet destiny. Or let her pamper you, spoil you, rotten, feel her dancing, wildly enticing, teasing, warning, laughing, gently swaying. Or playing deliberately sassy, disturbing games in your hair and enjoying the unexpected chaos of every second. The strength and the power of each and every second of making you face the predictability of the unknown. Shh. When the wind dances. Be still. Feel her dancing boldly, sending chilly fingers right through your clothes, but don't tell anybody. Don't say a word. Don't move. Shh. When the wind dances, even I sing for her to move too. I groove too, and falling leaves run around in circles on the ground, and last winter's kites laugh again in the heavens, while a million skirts climb the very healthy thighs of a million rhythmic goddesses who can move like the wind does when the wind dances, if they stand real still, just long enough to feel her as she passes when the wind dances. Shh. It only takes a minute. Stop. Listen. Listen to the wind when she's whispering to you, or does she have to knock you down for you to hear? Stop. Listen to the silence in the spaces where honeybees used to dance, and if you listen with an open heart, you just might hear creation singing and find the courage to rewrite the script and take a long overdue stand. Stop. Listen. Mother Nature's offering you a chance. Listen. Return to the balance of Big Mama's plan. It only takes a minute, and you better stop and listen, because you're on nature's clock and she's not playing. And time is rapidly running out. Um, folks have Dee touched on some of it. Some of these things that are happening. For those of us who come from backgrounds, even though Devorah was born in this city and I was born in New York City, we both come from Caribbean backgrounds. And if you know anything about hurricanes, what you're seeing now is not normal. This is not normal. This weather you're seeing is caused by the complete disruption of the balance of nature. When Maria hit Puerto Rico, it completely knocked the national rainforest down to splinters. And that just broke my heart when I saw the pictures. Also, not too long ago, Val Sarant, folks have seen my band, Val Sarant from Trinidad and Tobago. We were asked to escort these folks around. We thought we were showing some nice folks from Ghana. One of them was originally from Ghana, and the other one was a creature. Anyway, they were people who were deforesting Ghana. And they expected us to be happy to show these creeps around. It breaks my heart. When I saw the pictures of El Yunque, I almost lost my mind, and I wrote this basically to keep my sanity, thinking about that and the Amazon and Ghana and other places that they are trying to deforest. Not thinking about not only all of the medicinal things that those rainforests, 90% of the medicine that you need to live comes from those rainforests, not to mention the oxygen, etc. This is called A Simple Freedom, or Was It Just a Dream? And this one is, the other things I wrote were from my book that's out now, With Every Step I Take Two. And this one is coming out in a book I've got coming out pretty soon. It's called Oaktown Mosaic e Pura Candela, which means it's pure fire. A simple freedom, or was it just a dream? Once upon a time when the world was green, when its earth was heaven, the trees used to sing to us and we sang their praises, danced in honor of their beauty and reveled in the millions of gifts they gave us. Life was a simple but complicated symphony. When lovesick leaves sang in romance-hungry wind spirits and clouds pregnant with the promise of tomorrow kept us drunk on the sweet wines of her rains, then came the invasions. Wood-eating devils, I say wood-eating devils that make termites look like angels. The lakes, the streams, the green, all gone. Forest of dreams destroyed, the simple beauty of millions of yesterdays eaten by greed, and lifelessly regurgitating into the ravaged soil as echoes of green cry in the shadows of what once was. Tree spirits, hidden behind ancestral tombstones, their seedless offspring roam thirsty deserts beside invisible uprooted generations trying to remember days when nature reigned. And all her green gave the world oxygen to breathe and got the world drunk on the fruit of their love. Days when trees romanced the clouds and rain was the wine of heaven. Now their ghosts silently scream. Wide awake nightmares, restless spirits hidden in the sands of a long ago time, a time before they came. I said they came like an atonal swarm of hungry locusts, suicidal wood-eating demons that looked like angels but took joy in the devastation of uprooted generations, in the destruction of sacred medicinal flowers that once perfumed the air. And now, the lakes, the streams, the green, all gone. In their place grow tearful memories, crying echoes, dancing in the weeds with hurricanes and earthquakes, shadows of days when this earth was heaven, when happiness was being able to safely lie in the grass and just breathe and be serenaded by a chorus of singing frogs and birds. It was a simple, priceless freedom. Or was it just a dream once upon a time when the world was green? If it's time, I did not time myself. If it's time to do two more, is it cool? Okay. People, when Dee was talking about trees, please do yourself a favor. Not only see those trees, but really look into those trees. Muir Woods, anywhere you want to go with it, anywhere you want to go. I'm really proud. There's a group of kids in Oakland. They call themselves Relief, Releaf. And there's people like that happening around the country and around the world. Heard that one guy in India has planted over 2,000 trees himself, because this stuff is, what's going on is serious, very serious. And if there's still something country in you left, then you'll be able to feel the life in these trees, because they're living beings. And I used to go to a meeting, and I'd look out the window, and you could see the ones that were sick and what have you. It was like they were talking to me. And I wrote this poem for them, because trees are probably one of the most beautiful beings that we have on this earth. They never stop working. They never stop doing what they're supposed to do for the most ungrateful creatures on this planet. Two-legged people doing horrible things. So I wrote this in praise of them. It's called In Praise of the Magnificent Gifts of Trees. Sitting here, eyes held captive by the presence of your example, you, an unacknowledged sacred elder. Your quiet wisdom and the stoic beauty of your stillness, a stillness that masks an ageless magnificence, a deliberate, immeasurable slow dance in contrast with the unapologetic wildness of your leaves, beautiful leaves. I say beautiful leaves, radiant leaves, boldly breathing leaves, dancing in the wind, breathing, cleansing the air, cooling clouds, and the rain and water to drink while you quietly stand there, giving your all, asking nothing, silently working overtime, trying to rectify the wreckage of humanity's stupidity and its consistent inhumane assault on the balance of existence. A suicidal, out of control, blinded by profit death march. Humanity is a creature so smart that it's outsmarted itself, blinded by arrogance, and so drunk on delusions of their own superiority, they're completely unaware that they are only a tiny off-key note in the universal symphony of life. But they could care less about the rest of the planet or creation or us, unless there's something seriously bankable in it. Proud and arrogantly strutting around unaware of your importance, or the fact that you're even here or there and everywhere. They can't see that you're more than just another tree, more than just one more inanimate object. So you stand there. I say you stand there, an involuntary witness, watching mankind blindly digging its own grave as you do your best to repair the air, trying to save humanity from itself. Oh, I blew it. I forgot. I said it two more. If I do two more, that's because I forgot I have friends that are listening right now up in the mountains of Puerto Rico. And so I'd like to do two, especially for them if it's okay. Let's see, before I do this. Huh? Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about right now. Soy boricua hasta el hueso. Where is this thing at here? Oh, here it is. Since Maria hit and the earthquake and the other hurricanes, it's been really devastating. And up in the mountains, the folks are still hurting really big. And so different people have different parts of the island and different, I have friends in Dominica. We've raised money for them as well, and some of the other islands that have really been devastated. And when Devorah was talking about people who aren't paid any attention to, there's certain things you don't know because it's not expedient for you to really know certain things about people. But there are people who have no lights, no clean water, and what have you. And so different people are getting stuff to different parts. And the crew that I work with, we get up into the mountains. Roberto, if you listen up there in Utuado, I'm sending this out to you and all the folks up there. I'm a coffee holic. I am definitely addicted to coffee. I think if anybody from a Caribbean background, you get off the breast and you're into coffee big time. So other folks, you talk about, Avotcja, you can't drink a cup of coffee at midnight. Oh, yes, I can. It's a sleeping pill for me. I have drunk so much of it. Well, I went to the post office box a couple of weeks ago. Roberto, love you madly. I turned this box upside down. All these different brands of Puerto Rican coffee fell out. The first things out of my mouth was, it's Raining Cafe, R-A-I-N, Raining Cafe. But then I said, oh, no. I'm a poet. So I changed to R-E-I-G. It's Raining Royalty. Those mountain folks are unbelievable. So this is for them. It's for me. It's in Spanglish, but get the message. The title is It's Raining Cafe, or Confesiones de una Cafeólica Sin Vergüenza, a.k.a. Confessions of a Shameless Coffeeholic. And for those who don't know, Borinquen is the name of the island before colonization, and I think you should get the rest. Way up in the mountains of Borinquen, it's Raining Cafe, indescribably precious gifts in little tiny coffee beans, proud and homegrown and more numerous than raindrops. Café real con un aroma sin igual, and just the scent of Café Teto transports me to El Pueblo de las Marías. This coffee is sacred, precious, delicious, a real mountain treasure. Es un licor natural y orgánico y 100% del pueblo borincano, and with every cup of Café El Mañanero and Café Lealtad, I am reborn. En la montaña de la Isla del Encanto, it's raining café. But even here, 3,500 miles away from it, the fruta sagrado del campo, I daily drink in the power of those mountains, and I am energized. Every single day when I taste the essence of Café Cibales, I can feel the naturaleza of Ciales come alive inside my insides. And Café Oro de Puerto Rico, ¡ay, qué rico! Café increíble con su aroma sabroso. A sacred encanto that tastes of majesty. Y con cada trago de nuestro café subo pa'l cielo. In the mountains of la Isla del Encanto, it's raining café. Royal coffee beans, un tesoro nacional, with hypnotic aromas that smell of the wildness of freedom. Untamable freedom, libre like the dirt of the mountains that gave them birth. Oh, yes, I confess, I'm hooked. I get drunk with every cup of café de aquí of Utuado, majestuoso tesoro sagrado de las montañas, and in my house. Tomo el sabor 100% de las montañas, and I shamelessly admit it. There's not 1 ounce of doubt in my mind. I am a proud 100% unapologetic coffeeholic. And in my house, it's raining café, 100% from the mountains of La Isla del Encanto. And this last one, and I hope I didn't talk too long. Once again, I'm going to say before I do this last one, please support this bookstore, all these independent bookstores. I've been a fanatical reader ever since I was a little tiny girl, and they've taken me all around the world. They introduced me to people that I would have never met otherwise. So, like, I know some people just found out about, the lunar calendar and Chinese New Year. I knew about it when I was 2.5 feet tall because I was reading about it. Happy New Year, I knew about Persian poetry and stuff. I'm a Persian poetry and story fanatic. So much so that Persians have accused me of being a closet Persian, thinking I'm ashamed of admitting that I'm Persian because they've influenced my style of writing so much. I've never been to Persia, but one of the guys in my band is from that part of the world, so I guess they rubbed off enough of me. I want to thank them, and I want to thank all these bookstores that give us all this stuff. Do yourself a favor. Get yourself some of this wisdom. It will not only help the bookstores, it will help you grow. It will make you a better person. It will take you more into this planet. because, as I said in the poem, it's not just about us. And Devorah said it, we're bigger than that. We're part of something that's bigger than we are. And if we really allow ourselves to be part of that thing that's bigger than we are, then we become bigger than we are, if that makes any sense. So this last thing I'm going to do is written about Aljunke. It's in my book. It's called Listen to the Rain. And for those folks right now that are listening to this thing that we're doing now in Utuado and Santurce and San Juan and Luis Aldea and in New York City and my friends in Mississippi and Texas right now, I'm going to send it out there to you because the rains that we've had have been kind of scary. And we've had these crazy rains because of the drought, which was caused by scary people. Because when I first came to California, it used to rain every day for 3 months, and we complained because we were dumb. And then we got the drought. And now we get torrential rains and drought and crazy stuff. So this is called Listen to the Rain. And I'm going to try this thing. I know it's not going to work with this rain stick, but at least you get at least a little bit of the sound here. I wish I had a, music stand, but I don't. So I usually have a one that works, and you can hear the rain sound through the whole poem. But you can't because this thing doesn't work like it's supposed to. But imagine that you're hearing rain, because rainforests are so beautiful, not just to look at. You can plant a seed in the morning and then come back in the early afternoon and you'll see a sprout. And like those trees, they're working 24 hours a day, nonstop, trying to save us from ourselves. Do so many beautiful things. So this is called Listen to the Rain. It's in Spanglish as well. Keep hearing those raindrops in your head and pretend that this friend got me a real rain stick. El Yunque. Jardín de esperanza donde vive el alma boricua, el alma de la perla del Caribe, el señor gringo. I say, Senor Gringo, he always listens, but never hears the music of El Yunque. Too busy. Always rushing, running, taking, breaking, always taking, but never taking time enough to listen to the rain, to hear her sacred song, to feel the magic, the magic, the magic, 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 magic. Ay, ronquique, ay, Yunque. Gritando sangre de las flores, el llanto del coquí, they came. Suffering acute gringo-itis of the bank account. They will never know El Yunque is more than just another rainforest, more than a beautiful tourist trap, more than just one more romantic locale with more great potential for the cultural expansion of McDonald's bulletproof hamburgers. Boricua. Have you ever really stopped and listened to the rain, the magic? El Yunque sagrado. Oración de la lluvia, corazón de la tierra, pesadilla de los Yankees. Listen. Boricua, listen to the rain. El Yunque is nature's fertility dance. It's Borinquen's poem of power. Don Pedro, Doña Lolita, Don Juan Antonio tried to make you hear, tried to make you feel strong enough to live for a tree and maybe even die to be free. Did you hear them? The magic. Ay, El Yunque. Sombra. Del neros escondidos, el renacimiento del sueño borencano. Listen. Listen, Boricua. Listen to the rain. Let her whisper in your ears. Let her shower you with pride. Let her overwhelm you with her beauty. Let her lead you to the magic. El Yunque is nature's declaration of independence. Let the rhythm of the rain burn like fire in your blood. Have you ever really listened to the rain? Listen, Boricua. Listen to the rain, Boricua. Listen to the rain, Boricua. Ay, el sonido musical de la lluvia, mi Boricua. Listen to the rain, Boricua. Listen to the rain, Boricua. Listen to the rain, Boricua. Listen. And whatever you can do to help save rainforests everywhere, do yourself a favor and do it, because they are working for you, and they disappear like the bees, we disappear. Thank you for listening to my words. Once again, the wonderful, wonderful John Curl, my dear friend and sister by another Mr., Devorah Major, wonderful Dee Allen. My name is Avotcja. Please give Eric and this wonderful bookstore a hand, and thank you again.
All right, thank you Thank you all so much.
Let me
I
give you that
appreciate
check
it.
back,
Thanks
please.
for coming out. Yeah, we'll get that. So yeah, and if you want to come back at 8 o'clock, we've got seven musician ensemble drawing on original compositions, drawing on traditions from the Finnish Kalevala, the folk epic. So yeah, major piece of work that they've been composing and putting together. Heikki Kaskinen and Rent Ramas. And then Kim Shuck has her open mic tomorrow on Zoom, right? So attend that. I know Avotcja is often at that, yeah? So the fourth Friday is Kim Shuck's thing. Akil Mestayer is bringing in a Afro-Cuban folkloric group. It's on our calendar for a couple weeks out on a Saturday night, 10 musicians in that. Lots of good stuff. So get on our email list, look at our website, and come to the shows. Every Friday and Saturday it's jazz. And there are a lot of Sundays and a lot of other things. Okay, sure. All right, thank you. So we are going to have some musicians moving through the room with instruments. So if you could keep the aisle clear, that would be really wonderful. And we'll go from there. Thank you for being here. Okay, so it didn't say how much you want on the check.
Oh, I'm sorry,
And
155.
155 and then the balance to you.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't read the number of the local.
Local 1,000.
1,000. Okay. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and just make that. Okay. Great reading. Okay. Local 1,000, 155. Okay. So if we could have this aisle.
Did I talk too long? Did I talk too long? Thank you. Here is the phantom here. Yes, that was beautiful. Thank you. You know, I'm not doing so long that I really felt like I didn't know what to do. I weird that I haven't heard around for so long. Well, I know you're around. And you said we just had a concert here. In fact, the link for that concert is up on Beckett. You were here about a week or so ago with my band. And so, well, right on. It was just beautiful. Oh, thank you. I hope I didn't talk too long. No, you didn't. We're fine. And you were real gracious about asking could you do more. You would just plow on through it, and it was cool. Yeah, because they told me, because we send stuff up into the house, and they told me a lot of stuff we send, it's like solo stuff, and they were listening on the radio, so what have you, so they said, oh, please, I've got to do that, listen to the rain, and the coffee thing, so, and this, I just, yes, absolutely. I was the person who... Okay, stranger, don't be such a fan of me. I think I asked several people several times, where did you go? You just went disappeared. But it was hard to see. It was also so I am a poet, just not that poet is going to be reading a
War was Teddy Matthews, and that was
Sure, that was a long time ago. God, I miss him too.
yeah, me too.
He was a good guy. Yeah.
Thank you.
You too.
Thank you. It was so wonderful.
Thank you. Most of those, with the exception of 2 or 3, are in the book. So.
Okay. Usually I have a book right behind me.
Sure.
I don't think so. We'll see what ideas people come up with since the 2 weeks. I think we have a powerful theme.
Let me get out of your way, friend.
Oh, no rush. I've been waiting all night hearing your wonderful voice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, you want to save them till then? You don't want to share them? Yes, share them. I wanted to thank you so much for the great performance. I loved your performance without the raised it. And I loved it, how you made everyone laugh about it. I wish I had raised it. I thought that was brilliant.
I can't believe they brought this piece of crap. I don't know what this is. But anyway.
It's a signal that your friends love you even though they're incompetent.
Well, no, they're just arrogant. So, but I'm going to get a decent rain stick. I'm going to see if Lark in the morning is still operational. They give me a real. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much.
There is room in the back, too. You need to put
Somebody
when you're
got
ready
the
to
book
put
there.
stuff.
Yeah,
You
well,
gotta make some.
I gotta,
John's book?
Make sure so there's some room for it. We're going to be in the front.
Aaron, those
So you'll be like,
when you say front,
Yeah, right here.
Okay, you're getting ready to grab
you mean
them.
on
All
the
right.
floor here?
Yeah.
Okay,
way. Oh, yeah. It's the only way.
And
Pinky, come this way.
Let me get out of everybody's way.
Hey, no problem.
Thank you, so sorry.
hey, how you doing?
Never apologize.
Hey, how you doing, Dave? Always love to see your face in the place. I would be honored to sign, but I'm so glad that we got it. There's a couple of typos in there. Let me show you one that's really stupid this guy made. I can't believe he did this. 'Cause oh, this is not the one you need to
No, did you
Oh, that's-
take my
so
music
this one has
stand?
no typos.
It's
The one that was out.
yeah. I put it in the. It's right there. It's right there.
Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, to
We gotta get that piano
get the
moved.
power.
And also the one
Now, I should be at either side. Do you care which one? Here or there?
Whatever closest to the power.
Now, all the way back there.
Yeah, all the way back. No, this way. Up against the wall.
Just there.
Yes. Don't give yourself a hernia. That's too much. Last thing I do is it's okay, right? That's as far back as you go. Let's take this bench out of here.
We need this one in here.
No, that's. I don't know who's in that.
I need a chair. Wait a minute.
You need the bench?
I need either a chair or something to put my
Take a look at these. I think I did them right. So
computer
hopefully
on.
they're good.
Okay.
It could be just a plain chair.
Oh, you want it in cash?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, what about this? Is this too small?
No problem. I'll give you.
Yeah, that's now. So,
Did I do that right?
It's American Federation of Musicians, but I think
Oh,
they're
I'm sorry. I can just correct that.
well, you know, but you think it would make a difference? I don't know if there's an American Association, but I just, you know how they have those pronouns.
That was written lightly in pencil, and that's what I read. I should have thought of that. Of course.
The country is doing that for me.
Yeah, no problem. I'm sure they'll understand.
The last time I was there, I hope it didn't talk too long.
No, it's
I had forgotten that Roberto was sitting listening. So,
Yeah, of course. Okay, I'm sure they'll go right through. They've got a big old bank account that's used to getting money in it. They won't have any problem. Okay. Oh, and here's your card. Okay.
thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. All right. So let's see. Can I?
Yeah, I just, oh, yeah. If they let the guy say we have a rehearsal,
all right.
as far as I know, that won't happen. Let me find out if they're walking to the bar. I have to walk around in the dark by myself.
So what? We can't get our guys in here? What's going on?
They're just waiting. And they will come. Now,
They should just pile on through.
so if I'm here, yeah, you can be in the middle.
I don't know who this is, but we'll figure it out.
And I could put.
So you want to use this, right? Right? You gonna use this?
Wine, I'll try. What if I put my thing in here?
Okay, so fine, because Mark is in here.
Okay, so
He's gonna
then
have his vibes up here.
I can put it in here.
Yeah, yeah. You can have it there. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, then I still,
And then are you gonna use this? If not, I'm sure people can use it for their amps.
No, it's curved. I'm nervous.
The piano bench is in the back.
Okay, so in case.
Yeah. All right, so I guess if we can get our band in here, Jesus Christ.
lot has happened in the past 11 years. This is my sixth
So you're gonna be standing where?
passages against it.
If I'm here. Yeah, great.
On February 1st, 2020, this is my sixth book.
And then I can cue sideways a little bit if I'm in need.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool, I'll just sit in the middle. First we'll let everybody get in. And we'll put Josh over here then. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take that. Question. Is this?
That's Safas.
That's Safas.
Here, let me. I brought it
He's
in.
gonna take.
Put this, I'll put this up on the stage.
Poems in that book are about
There we go, more room for you.
white supremacy.
You inspired some book buying.
Things that sparked off had no choice but to write about the coronavirus pandemic. So there's poems about that.
Okay.
And how I've dealt with it.
I got my setup now. Good. And this Eric can, I guess,
That's me.
speak.
Yeah, Eric, yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm not gonna use this stool. I'll just put this in.
Yeah, because otherwise I'll just be reordering and restocking, so might as well. Okay. So let's see. Picky, we got a drum kit. I don't know that Mark is playing bass. Who's on drums?
Tim.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be right there in the front.
Oh, yeah.
The horns.
Yeah.
And maybe
like
Mark
so
sides.
like-
Maybe
Yeah.
we can move this table and let you get closer to the stage.
So just let you know.
Wow.
Well, let's
Do
worry
you
about-
need this one?
We'll need
Let's
to
let the big
let's
guy figure
work
it
from
out.
the
And
back.
this is
for it.
mine.
Yeah,
I
I'll put
just
my horns
actually-
back there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't care.
There's room to
Yeah.
set up and
I'm
stuff.
fine with that.
All right. Hey, we need a drum kit. We need box.
It's coming.
right?
Yeah, 2 bases.
Oh no! Here comes the drummer.
Wait, hey, can
Alright,
you move that mic
So
out
let's
of the
move
way?
this. I am just
Oh,
about
okay.
to do so.
Cool.
All right.
You're gone.
So let's start with the drums, and then here come the vibes. All right. Watch that bass. Don't get it tromped on. Everybody okay there? You think the bass is safe?
Big guys.
I think so. I think
Yeah,
so
that's
too.
standing
I
space.
think so too. Yeah, it's just a bass. Good to see you. Glad you're back in action.
Yeah, me too, man.
So I can make some more room by taking
Usually,
these little speakers out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I usually chill right here, right?
Yeah,
whatever-
that's
whatever
the
you-
thought.
I think
If
so.
you
can't
fit,
work
if you
out,
fit
that's
great, because
the
I mean,
starting point.
and then Sava can be right like around where the zamp is ish, and then
Ish-ish.
and put
Or
a.
you got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to,
And then
I have
put
to
Max
go
in.
around.
See, there's a see it's a backstage there. There's plenty of room to go
All right,
around.
come on through.
Yep.
Just gotta go get my music style.
Okay, I got your way.
Didn't realize
This is
there
quite
was
the undertaking.
Yes, it is.
Fabuloso.
We're actually not doing any of the signature
No.
music tonight, just to let you know. Yeah, for that.
Yeah, sure.
This is a
They,
I
they
knew-
weren't really gonna pay attention.
No,
to what I was
I know,
saying
I
anyway,
know.
So,
I mean, you
Yeah.
know, when we have our audience here. Away here.
I'll try not to make any announcements so that
Can you help me get this up real quick, bro?
Um,
The butt needs to go there.
this button?
Yep.